It was a dark and foggy night in an ancient English town, known for its whispers and shadows. Looming above it all was the massive structure known as Lazom Castle, a sprawling mansion from the 18th century, its walls cracked, its gates creaking with every slightest breath of wind. Within it dwelt the esteemed Katug family whose lineage traced back to the royal days, joined by an army of servants bustling through the endless hallways. Amongst the multitude of servants, there was one who stood apart, Nanny Shokran, an old woman forever clad in black, eyes deep and dark, a stare void of any life, neither warm nor welcoming. She ruled the household with an iron grip that inspired fear in every soul who crossed her path. Silence was the golden rule around her. Yet, despite her advanced age, she moved with the agility of youth. But the most peculiar of all was that no one had ever seen her laugh, not even a hint of a smile. The curse begins. The very town surrounding the castle was rattled to its core when the first heinous murder came to light. A young man found slaughtered, his body discarded in the churchyard, etched with strange symbols carved into the raw flesh. Barely a week passed, and another vicious crime struck. An elderly lady was found hanged with a metal wire. Her skin harbored the same bewildering marks. The townsfolk began to whisper, "The castle is cursed. There is a demon dwelling within Lazom." But the unsettling truth was that each of the victims had ties to the castle. They either worked within its looming structure, or had dealings with the family. The air was thick with dread and endless questions. Adrian, a young ambitious journalist, decided to uncover the secret of the crimes. He applied to work in the manor as a simple servant. They agreed, and Nanny Shokran personally welcomed him, with a cold gaze that freezes the blood. From the first night, Adrian felt something unnatural, strange noises emanating from the walls, footsteps moving when he was alone, glimpses of shadows walking quickly. But despite his fear, he was determined to continue. One day, while Adrian was collecting laundry from the back garden, he spotted a small door half buried underground. It had a rusty lock and a key attached to Shokran's belt. Since then, the idea of the cellar dominated his thoughts. What's beneath? What is Shokran hiding? With the help of a timid young maid named Mary, Adrian managed to steal a copy of the keys. They descended into the cellar at midnight. The cellar smelled of decay, and its walls bore writings in a dark brown hue. In the center of the cellar stood a strange statue of a woman, her face disfigured, and her eyes gouged into her skull. Around the statue, human skeletons piled like offerings, and Mary, overwhelmed with horror, ran upstairs screaming. But Adrian stayed focused. His eyes fell upon an old leather-bound notebook titled, "The Keeper of the Manor." He opened the notebook and found very old photos, all showing that the same woman who now stands as the manor's manager was present in pictures 200 years old. Nanny Shokran wasn't an ordinary human. Through the diary entries, Adrian uncovered the catastrophe. Shokran was an Egyptian maid, sold into slavery and brought to England. She suffered horrific torture at the hands of the mansion's owner in the past. Before she died, she performed ancient magical rituals, cursing the mansion and the spirits within. Every 50 years, her soul transfers to a new maid's body to continue controlling the mansion and exacting revenge her own way. Due to these rituals, the mansion itself became alive. It watches, kills, and deceives. Adrian is in danger. After what he discovered, Adrian decided to flee and reveal everything to the city. But Shokran knew. She began to chase him. The doors shut by themselves. The lights flicker out suddenly, and whispers of his name echo in the air. He awoke in the dead of night to find Mary tied above the ceiling, blood dripping from her body, her eyes wide open. She died afraid. In the chilling silence of a night where the moon bore a sinister red hue, Adrian stood defiantly before Shokran in the depths of the castle's dark cellar. "I know everything. You will not use my body to live again," he declared, his voice trembling not with fear, but with determination. Shokran chuckled. a sound so quiet yet unnerving that it sent shivers through the very stones of the ancient castle. "You're too late, Adrian. You have become part of the inevitable," she replied, her eyes glinting with an unholy light. With a single touch, Adrian felt an icy chill spreading through his limbs, turning them rigid and unyielding. He could hear the faint, distant wail of his soul as it was drawn out of him, leaving a hollow shell. In that fleeting moment, he watched himself become a mere statue among many others in the cellar. The shocking conclusion lingered in the whispers of the town, tales woven of the mysterious disappearance of Adrian, Mary, and everyone who dared step into the castle thereafter. A ghostly legend that grew with each retelling. Months passed, and the castle was sold to a new unsuspecting family. On their very first day, an old maid presented herself. Her attire was a simple black dress, her eyes devoid of any warmth or humanity, pure emptiness. Yet, she smiled for the first time, her lips curling into a knowing grin. Her name, Governess Shokran,